Hello there, nice to see you again. Today I'm going to be working on this piece of watercolour paper, but I'm going to use some texture that I've made myself. This is just mixing sand with white acrylic paint, and I'm just going to apply it. I want to make an abstract, so I just want some random shapes. I'm just putting on the palette knife so that I can scrape it on and actually dig into the sand paint mixture to make some really interesting textures. I have done this before, so please check out my other videos if you want to see more of this sort of work. So I'm just going to keep layering this on and get the shapes and designs that I want. I'm just going to use a little bit of a brush here as well to get the paste off this palette knife, and it's also handy to get that out of the pot, and again it makes its own individual shapes. Very interesting stuff, and it will add loads of texture to what we're going to do next. So using a palette knife, I can scrape into that, I can make lines, I can make valleys. This is what we want. We're going to be working with some acrylic inks and paints and making something a bit different. And here we are, it's completely dry now. I left it overnight and I've just given it a coat of white acrylic paint. I wanted a nice clean surface. Now I've mixed some of these paints together, these inks, to make my own colours because I wanted certain shades. I wanted a purpley blue and a very sort of yellowy green. What I'm trying to represent here is a sort of abstract version of my local bluebell wood. At this time of year, the beech leaves that are coming out are beautiful fresh green, and the sky at the moment in the UK has been this lovely turquoisey blue. So I'm using a pearlescent turquoise blue here. It's beautiful. I've wet the area first with a large watercolour brush, and I'm just pulling out some of that ink into different shapes to just suggest that this might be a sky colour. It doesn't have to be exact, it's just an impression. And it's looking nice, so I'm going to go straight in with this mix of yellow and green that I've actually made. I will give all the colours in the comments later on, or the description, so you can see what I've done. And while that area is still sort of wet from the blue, I'm taking that colour and putting it into a few areas. I want to suggest the branches and the boughs of the beech trees. Give that good spritz. Now what will happen is that the inks will sink into the sand and paint mixture. And that's fine. What we want is for a softness. So adding white acrylic ink adds a little bit of opaque finish to them. And this is the green that I actually mix with the yellow. So I can put that on neat. It's very, very nice green. It's a sap green. And I'll pop that into a few different areas. And again, just wet with clean water on this large brush and pull that beautiful green colour into the blue and into the, I don't know what colour we'd call that, lime green I suppose. And I'm using my favourite spatula here. This is one of the silicone ones. Because it's silicone, it will take the paint, the ink, even though the texture is rough. It's looking good. I'm pleased with the effect that I'm getting so far. So I'm just going in under that green with a little bit of raw sienna ink. This is mainly just to add a little bit of warmth. The colours so far have been quite cool, so I want to add a little bit of warmth in there. I'm just dropping it into different areas. To add a little bit more of that blue because it's just soaked away and I want a little bit more strength there. So I'll pop a bit more in neat. You can put it wherever you like. And again, using the spatula, I can blend that in a little bit and get that to move. Okay, back down to this bottom area here. Wetting it again. I'm wetting the raw sienna and pulling that out. And now I'm going to go in with the purple mixture that I've made, which is mixing a blue, an ultramarine blue, and a pink. It's a magenta pink. I want the sense of bluebells, but in the shade, because obviously lower down under the trees it's a little bit darker. So I'm just adding that depth. It makes all those lovely light areas really stand out. And again, wetting that into the sand and paint mixture. Now that's the ultramarine blue, and it's a quite strong blue, so use that judiciously. I'm just going to drop some of that purple in. into those little bits of areas there. We wanted a good balance. You can see how bright that blue is. That's okay. This is going to go into other colours as well. There we go. Drop a little bit of white in and that will instantly soften that down, and we can work with the layers of these colours. This is where working a little bit intuitively is helpful. Look at what's appearing on your page and decide if you like it or not. If you don't, you can pull it around, you can get rid of it, soften that out using that slightly smaller brush, pulling all those colours, and the blue and the red are separating in the inks. Lovely. Look at that beautiful purpley blue colour. Using the spatula just to pull that shape around. There we go. That's not quite as wet here, so it just coats the paper and gives a little bit of texture on the tooth of the paper. It's really nice to use acrylics on watercolour paper, and even though it's mainly for watercolours, these are very wet, so they work quite nicely, and you still get a little bit of texture if you have a roughish surface of the paper. Now it's just a question really of going into areas, adding in interest. I've let this dry and I test it by just touching it to make sure, because adding paint while it's wet will just make it soak in. Okay, so now that it's dry, I'm using this small palette knife to scrape a little bit of titanium white and also very pale lemon yellow across the ridges, just to add that interest. And that gives some highlights which I can then blend in. I'm going to put some more of that lovely fresh green, lime green mix, and I'll speed that up a little bit so you can see the difference it makes when you start to add in the colours. You can't always see it when you're doing it in normal speed, but it shows how it works. There we go. And adding now, I change sometimes the way I hold my brush. It's sometimes easier to hold it like a drumstick. If you've ever felt like a frustrated drummer, it's a good thing to do, and it's fun. It helps you get a better grip, and especially if you're working with the bristles on their side. I've got some pearlescent purple here. Just absolutely delicious. It just adds a little shimmer and a little shine. And the bluebell colours. Now I'm just highlighting some of the ridges here with white and a little bit of lemon yellow, just for that extra freshness and contrast. As you can see, brushing it across, it really catches, and when you put this white next to one of the darkest areas, you'll see how it really pops. Really stands out, looks fantastic. There we go, look at that. To make the dark and the light pop, you need each other. I'm going to go back in with that dark, really dark mix. I love that little curl there. It's a really interesting curve. Just now going in, looking and finding different areas I want to add depth to, and just popping in some mixes of colours, a little bit more blue, even though that's into the centre. It still works because we've got the blue touches elsewhere, softening it out. Just brings that sense of outdoors all the way through the painting. We've got nice unity, and I'm really pleased with this. I really get a sense of the bluebell woodland that I was hoping for when we started. So please feel free to have a go, and if you have any questions, please get in touch. Don't forget to like and follow, and I'll be producing some more work soon. See you then. Keep painting.